All right, what is going on? Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I'm your host, Mark Hendrickson, and if you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development, how to get your life back on track and moving in the right direction so that you feel good, you feel confident, you feel happy, and all that good stuff. If you're a returning listener, then thank you very much for coming back and showing the support that you do every single time. If you come out to the Risen Fallen in-person meetups, then thank you for bringing your smiling faces and your good support for everybody that's coming out there as well. If you're interested in getting involved in that, then reach out to me on Instagram. It's at Risen Fallen. And when we don't do in-person meetups every single week, we do something on Zoom, or we'll just link up and chat and see how everybody's week is going, month is going, and just kind of do a little review. And it's good stuff. So if you want to get involved in that, let me know. Like I said, reach out to me on Instagram. But let's jump into today's episode. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I know it's the day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a good fucking holiday. We got 1 week left to prep for the new year, so get fucking ready, get in motion, get started on all your goals and all that good stuff as well. Today, we'll be talking a little bit about that. Happy Monday, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I think that's pretty much all the things I need to say. I don't know what holidays you celebrate, but I celebrate Christmas, so Merry Christmas. Anything else you celebrate, happy holidays. Hope it's good. Hope you're staying warm. I thought since, I was kind of scrolling through the news, and since everybody gets their news from podcasts nowadays, I thought I'd try and cover, maybe 5 news segments in the next 30 seconds. Since headlines are all we need to read, let's read some headlines. I'll talk a little bit about the story. I'll skim through it, but there's a fucking shooting in Canada here in Ontario, which is fucked. 73-year-old suspect shot 5 of his fucking neighbors. It looked like the alleged handgun was shot and killed by the police, so they put that sick puppy down. I'm not trying to make light of this situation, but that's the way I speak about things. Guy used it looked like semi-automatic handgun, so let's ban all the rifles and shotguns, and rest in peace to all the fucking people that he killed. That's fucked up. I'm glad I don't live in an apartment building anymore. That, pretty fucked up. So, I'm not trying to make light of shootings, but, yeah, they got the guy and they put him down. So that's fucked up. I don't know if that's like a suicide by police type of thing or what this gentleman was up to, but maybe if he listened to this podcast, he'd got his fucking life in a better direction. Twitter fucking users vote yes to Elon Musk's poll if he should step down as the CEO. Good fucking luck trying to get this guy to do anything. I feel like this guy's so goddamn rich, he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. And realistically, he's really the only one shining the light on a bunch of fucked up shit that Twitter did over the last few years in terms of banning people. And as somebody that's been shadow banned, even though it doesn't happen, even though they found out that it does happen on social media, I feel like this guy's the only guy sticking up for people that were shadow banned. Yeah, and then people are like, oh, but he lets all these fucking bad boys onto fucking Twitter, but we all know that the bad boy of social media this year has already been taken off Twitter. That is, yay, he's gone. So that's good too. Avatar hit the fucking box office. They had a budget of fucking $970 trillion. No, it was like 300 million or something like that. $350 million. It grosses $134 million domestically and $435 million globally. So domestically, we got to step those fucking numbers up. Everyone should go and see Avatar. If you have a whole fucking day off because you're going to need it, it's a 390-hour long movie. You're going to need a whole day off to go see that movie. But if you do, you're going to fucking enjoy it because it looks like people are enjoying it. So go and see that movie. The CRA, they've received a shit ton of complaints recently, it looks like, in 2022, mostly about the same thing. It looks like over 40% of the 1,746 complaints were Canadians who experienced delays getting their eligibility validated for their CERB benefits, which were the COVID benefits that our government was just printing money for. And half these people are going to have to fucking repay it anyway, so don't know what you're fucking complaining about. You got free money, and then you have to pay it back. So don't know where the complaints are really supposed to be directed to there. CRA is doing a bang-up job. And everybody's pissed about the World Cup final because I think Miss Croatia said that she was going to fucking be naked or some shit if they won. But Argentina won. And so some people are pissed and some people are stoked. If you're a Messi fan, then you're fucking stoked. And if you're anybody else, you're fucking pissed. And if you're like me, you didn't even watch a fucking single game. So that's your news for the fucking week. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now that you're all caught up, let's get into what I wanted to actually chat about today, which is dig into the root of the fucking problem. You know, not of the problems that we just discussed in the news, but the problems that you deal with in your own life. Not saying that I just started a 12-step program, but if I did, I'd be on step 1. And step 1 is kind of, trying to figure out how you're fucked up, how you're messed up, how you want to change your life, identifying the problem, and admitting that you are powerless to a problem. Now, whether you're working a 12-step program or not, this is something that you should probably dive into. It's something that I've been trying to think about recently. I've been trying to examine in my life recently on, where my problems stem from and what kind of problems I'm actually trying to fix in my life. I know if you've been following this podcast, 6 months ago, I stopped smoking weed. I was a chronic smoker, smoking weed pretty much all day, every single day of my life. And 6 months ago, I stopped smoking weed because I had some issues I had to figure out that were dealing with my mental health and kind of my behaviors, some of the behavioral patterns that I had. And I was like, hey, this is the only thing that I never really wanted to change. And I always was kind of in denial that it was an issue in my life because I kind of had 1,000,010 reasons to justify why I was able to smoke weed all day and still work out at least once a day, still go to work, still have a functioning job, still have a relationship, still have a good relationship with my parents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There was every fucking reason in the book that I had to justify this. But, I still had issues going on in my life. And at the end of the day, I kind of looked at all the different factors or these different catalysts in my life that I had changed, with my diet, with my behaviors, with my journaling, with my reading, with my exercise, with my meal plan, with my fucking work ethic, with everything that I had, in my life, all these pillars that I had that were holding me up. And I was like, hey, this is the only thing that I wasn't really looking to change was my weed smoking habits. And so I did change those weed smoking habits. I stopped smoking cold turkey, and that was about 6 months ago. So I basically thought, hey, if I fucking change this, then I'm good to go. And it turns out I'm not. And the reason why is because, so many times we think, we find the problem because it's some problem that is maybe subtle, maybe not so subtle. Maybe it's like a way worse addiction in my eyes. Like maybe you're fucking doing heroin or fucking crack or meth or whatever. And that's a very not subtle fucking addiction. And then there's those little subtle addictions. Maybe you're addicted to fucking social media. Maybe you're addicted to sugar. Maybe you're addicted to fucking drama in the workplace. I don't know. Maybe it's a more subtle addiction. But so many times we have addictive behaviors, addictive personalities, or just maybe fucking problems in our lives. And we think, oh, that's got to be fucking it. And that's the way I fucking treated, my weed smoking behaviors. I was like, that's it. That's the fucking one thing I didn't want to change. Obviously, a rational person could look at somebody that smokes like 10 fucking joints a day and 10 fucking bong tokes a day and say, maybe that's a behavior you want to change. Took me a while to come to that conclusion. And then now 6 months down the road, it's like, hey, not everything's fucking perfect. And I wonder why that is. And because I've been doing a little bit more reflection recently. I've been looking into my life and thinking about what are the things I'm really wanting to change. And I've had to dig deep into, some of the issues I've been dealing with recently and over the past couple years. And I think that the way that I've dealt with this issue is a way that a lot of people deal with their issues. They find the one thing that's on the surface level and they think, that's fucking it. I got to fucking change that thing. And then you fucking change that thing and then nothing really changes that drastically in your life. And you think, hey, I changed this thing. Why aren't all these, aspects of my life changing? And it's because we change the thing that's on the surface level without actually digging into the root of the problem. We'd never actually think, why did this behavioral pattern actually start in the first place? What do I need to dig deep and figure out and uncover in my life so that I can actually deal with the nitty gritty issues? We talk about doing that deep inner work, but where does that deep inner work actually fucking happen? And that is usually stemming from some sort of trauma, some sort of a response to a deep-rooted problem that you might have, whether that is an underlying self-esteem issue, whether that is, like I said, a trauma response to something that might have happened to you in the past. It could be literally anything, but it's always the answer that we don't want to fucking, that we don't want to find. And it always seems like there's issues or traumas underlying, the behavioral patterns that we think are the issues that seem like, oh no, it couldn't be that. Like that's kind of what we think. It's like, nah, it couldn't be something as, minuscule as that. It's got to be something that I can change quickly and easily. And a lot of the times the problems are a lot more subtle and they're fucking little brain ninjas. They just kind of sneak around in the background of your brain, and they lurk in the shadows and they fucking attack you when you barely expect it. They're just like those little fucking brain ninjas, and they're fucking dangerous. They for me, like yesterday, I was doing some journaling, and like I said, I'm not saying that I started the first step of a 12-step program, but if I did, I would have had to sit down and journal about that. I would have had to answer some fucking books and worksheets, and they'd prompt me with questions and ask me about, certain things that, I've been suffering from or things that I need to change, maybe some things that I feel powerless against, or, things that have been constant issues in my life for years and years and years. And, it started off with me writing about kind of my addictive personality and, a substance abuse issues that I've dealt with in the past. And, how they've caused me to, how they've led me to the behaviors of maybe lying to people or tricking people or being a little bit mischievous. And then I started to dig deep into the root of like, okay, well, why did these substance abuse issues even start? Why did these, behavioral patterns even start? And it comes down to an underlying issue for me personally. If I were to open up, I'm not saying that this is my story, but I'm just saying that if it were my story, then, if I were to personally open up, it was kind of more along the lines of like, feeling this like weird void inside of me, right? Where I'm trying to fill it with external gratification, external dopamine rushes, external validation from other people, right? And this caused me to, maybe be unfaithful or, partaking in, the use of substances that probably shouldn't be anywhere near my body and just fucking snarfing them all up. Using anything that I could get my hands on to, give me that external dopamine rush. Something like, even as fucking addictive, but as subtle as video games or fucking, anything that I could distract myself from this negative feeling and give myself that quick hit of dopamine and try and fix the problem or numb the problem with substances or anything like that. I think you guys get where I'm going with this. And it's like, it's easy to point at the substance abuse issues. It's easy to kind of look at those things and say, that's obviously a fucking problem, because it is obviously a fucking problem. But we think that if we just correct that quick fix, we'll be fucking fixed. And the reality is, those substance abuse problems, those whatever issues you're dealing with, or whatever issues you don't deal with, and you're just listening to me talk about, those issues don't arise unless there's a problem to begin with, right? Like people that don't have these issues don't become fucking drug addicts. They don't become fucking, fucked up. The reality is that we don't fucking just randomly fill voids. We have to have the voids first. And the drug addiction isn't the void that you have. That's the cheap fix that you're looking for. And sometimes we need to do a little bit deeper digging to find the actual void that lies within us that we're trying to fill. And so if you do feel like you have one of those issues, if you feel like maybe, hey, I find that I'm always on my phone looking for a dopamine rush, or maybe if social media is the fucking first thing that you check in your day, or you spend more than fucking 2 hours on your screen time every single day and you don't get paid for it, or whatever it could be, you're always looking for that compliment from someone else, or you're always looking to fucking watch movies or watch fucking reality TV or escape your real life in any way. Like escapism is another fucking form of doing this. I don't know. There's so many fucking addictions. I can't even list them all. Whether you're looking for a fucking quick dopamine fix from some sugary snacks or some fucking fatty foods, or you're fucking, there's so many fucking things I could think of. Regardless of where you fall in this addictive behavior, it's like the addictive behavior isn't your problem. That's your weird, convoluted idea of a solution to a problem that you don't even want to look at. And if you're feeling like you have that, it's completely normal. Like, I feel like all addicts deal with this, and then all people that are lying to themselves and saying they're not addicts also deal with this as well. They're just a little bit fucking maybe one step behind. And so if you're dealing with this void within yourself, understand that the way that you're trying to solve the problem, that quick fix or solution, isn't your actual problem. You need to dig deeper and figure out what the actual problem is, the void that you're trying to fill. Otherwise, you're just going to substitute and jump from addiction to addiction and try and tell yourself, well, this one isn't as bad, and this one's got to be healthier, and you're gonna come up with justifications out your ass to try and figure out, I'm not doing as bad as buddy over there who's addicted to that drug, or that's where all the comparisons come out. But understand that if you don't actually try and figure out what that void within you actually is, you'll never truly be able to fill it. And if you can't actually truly fill it, you won't actually learn how to love yourself and feel complete and whole. And if you can't figure out how to feel complete and whole and love yourself, then you're never going to fucking love anybody else. You'll never be able to. And if you can't love anybody else and you're never able to do that, you're going to lead a fucking miserable life. And so this episode, I just wanted to encourage you guys to do a little bit of deep digging and dive into, some of the things that maybe you're trying to fill, the voids that you're trying to fill. Try and think about some of the issues that you've dealt with maybe since you were a kid, and think about how they've impacted you, and maybe what void they've left within you, and how you might be trying to fill those in maybe some of the not more productive ways. So that's the message I wanted to give to you guys today, this happy fucking Monday. I know that's kind of maybe not a happy Monday message, but I want to encourage you that it's possible. You're not the first person to deal with an issue like this. And there's been many before you, and there's going to be many after you. So not only is it possible to fix this and possible to change these behavioral patterns and change, this could really honestly remap your entire future. And so not only is that possible, but it's also your fucking duty, because there's going to be many more people after you, after me, that deal with similar things. And if you are able to break this down and figure it out and solve this fucking never-ending journey, you could be the guide for the next person along the line. But that won't actually happen unless you dive deep, 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 deep into this hole that you've dug yourself into and start to climb your way out. Only then will you be able to turn around and help the next person up as well. So that's the message of encouragement for this Monday's episode. I hope you're doing well. Merry fucking Christmas. Happy fucking Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day today. So, go out and fucking box. I don't know. Spend all your money. That's what Boxing Day is for. It's the greatest holiday of the year. Spend all your money and apply for fucking CERB and then complain to the CRA and then do whatever you need to do. Happy fucking Monday. For real though, we're heading into the new year, so fucking do this deep inner work now. Be in pain now. You know, it's December, it's cold, you're going to be inside, you might as well grab a fucking journal, be in pain now, and then maybe by the summer you'll be better. Maybe not, but maybe, right? And fucking do the deep inner work now when it's fucking cold out and you can't do anything else. You might as well fucking dive deep into your journal, do some fucking reading, and do that deep inner work while you're stuck inside anyways. You got nothing fucking better to do. And by 2023, you'll be fucking hitting the ground running. That's I think that's all I got today. If you like this episode, if you find you got some value from it, if you think you know somebody that needs to hear this message, even though you don't want to tell it to them because it might be a hard truth, let me tell it to them. Share this episode with them. Helps the show grow and helps more people kind of get on the right path. And you know, it's not always a message you want to hear, but it usually is a message you need to hear. So share the show, help it grow. That's all I got today. Much love and peace out. I love you all, you beautiful fucking humans. Keep fucking pushing no matter what. That's it. Bye.